My name is Joey Brown, and I will be showing you how to write your own simple computer program using the C++ programming language. We're going to use this language to write Hello World to the console, and then this is our console, or it's going to call it the screen, basically. So what we need to do first is to grab our text editor, and I use Sublime Text, which works best for me. It has syntax highlighting so I can know which word goes where and what means what. You can use your own, you can use the Notepad editor, you can use Google one, and find one works best for you. But once you get yours found, first thing we're going to do is save it, and I like to save mine to the desktop so I know where to find it in case I lose it at all. And we're going to call this file main with the file extension .cpp, and then we call it .cpp because it is what the compiler and the computer uses to know how to deal with it and then where to look in the code to do what. So then hit save. Okay, now we have our main.cpp open here. Now since we're using the C++ language, we need to include a couple headers so we have something to print to the screen without writing all of the crazy stuff ourselves. So we're going to start with the $include IOStream. Now don't forget to write it exactly like this because you'll get some errors if you don't. And the IOStream is one of the base libraries that comes with C++ by default. It is the in and out stream, so you can use the cout and the endl function to print whatever you want to the screen. Now after this, we're going to type using name space std semicolon. Now this one is just going to save us a lot of time, so we don't have to write this at the beginning of cout blah blah blah. So we're going to save some time doing that. Now here is where most of the code is going to happen. Most programming languages, C++ included, it needs a shell so the compiler knows where to start and then execute down the line. So to write our shell, we're going to start with the word int as an integer, write main since this is our main function. We're going to opening and closing parentheses, and inside just write void. Don't worry too much about that now. And now on the outside of those parentheses, we have the opening and closing curly brackets. If you can't find that, it's next to your enter key, and just hold shift and you'll find it. So on the inside of these curly brackets, hit enter so you get the closing curly bracket towards the bottom. And this is going to make it easier to read, and it's kind of like standard practice, and you'll see a lot of C++ code written this way. And then don't forget at the end we need to write return 0 so we can exit our code and the program can terminate. And at the top here, we're going to start off with the cout that I mentioned earlier by writing cout. Now cout has its own operator. Operators like the sum operator would be the plus sign, the product operator would be the asterisk or the multiplication sign. So I'm just going to call this one the double arrow to the left. So everything to the right of cout will be fed into cout, so cout can execute and print it to the screen for you. So we're going to give it the quote, hello world, exclamation point. Now make sure it's inside of these quotes here, double quotes, because otherwise you're going to get some more error messages and then we'll have to deal with that. So, and then another set of double arrows, and then endl. And endl is just the function that after hello world is printed, it gets to endl, and then it's going to hit the return key for you and go to the next line. So save that, and we're going to go to our console. I'm using the Windows subsystem for Linux with Ubuntu in there. You could go use a terminal emulator on the internet or any form of IDEs or compilers you'd like. This one works best for me, so I'm going to use this one. So I'm going to start off by using the G++ compiler and then compiling main.cpp. Enter. No error message show up, so that means I'm good. Just going to double check to make sure a.out is there. There it is. So a.out is the default name for the code you can execute and run inside of the terminal here. So to run that, I'm going to give it the current directory folder. That's what this stands for here. And then I need to type in a.out. And there we go. Hello World is printed to the screen. So if you want to learn more about this, you can Google it. There's millions of tutorials online that can show you how to do this and add and subtract, and it just gets crazier from there. Thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something new today.